You can't fake this. CNN panel blasts Biden regime for lying about the definition of a recession. Everyone knows the textbook definition of a recession. It's two negative quarters in a row with the GDP, and everyone knows this is the textbook term. But even CNN is blasting Biden for making for trying to change what words mean, which we know the left has been doing for a while now. They changing what words mean. But before we get started, go ahead, hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. We'll talk about things I can't talk about here, and there's also a link to my merch store. So check that out. All right, let's talk about this news. You know it's bad when CNN is calling out the Biden regime lies. The Biden regime is actually trying to redefine the term recession. Joe Biden on Monday straight up denied the U.S. is going into a recession. Quote, "We're not going to be in a recession in my view," Biden said, rattling off his talking points that the U.S. is going to go from, quote, rapid growth to steady growth. And even CNN is blasted them on it, which I think is hilarious. White House Press Secretary Karen Jean-Pierre told reporters on Monday she won't define recession. "I'm not going to define it from here." What? We don't need you to define it. We know what a recession is. The GDP shrank from 1.6% in the first quarter of 2022. The Atlanta Federal Reserve announced earlier this month that the second quarter of 2022 saw a GDP of minus 2.1%. The Biden regime is gaslighting Americans and claiming we are merely in a unique transition. A CNN panel wasn't buying the Biden regime lies. Take a look at this.
Panel. Chris Cillizza, inflation affects every American directly. Yep. The Biden administration is trying to point out the definition of a recession is nuanced. But I got to tell you, I struggle with this. I get that why they want to do it from a political perspective, but like you can't fake this.
No, I was laughing to myself with the "in my view" thing that Caitlin highlighted, because it's like, well, in my view, I should be drafted into the NBA. Like the NBA executives didn't agree with that.
Right.
Like it doesn't really matter what you think. There is a technical definition: 2 straight quarters of negative economic growth. They clearly believe that is likely to come to pass later this week. They're trying to pre-butt it. To your point, we get why they're doing it politically.
Right.
At the same time, we have these terms for reasons. You don't have to like it. Of course they don't like it, because the economy, Joe Biden's handling of the economy was at 25 or 30% in our most recent poll. Like, yeah, it's a problem for them. This adds to the problem. But you don't get to change the nomenclature in the middle of a campaign because it doesn't work for you.
Well, and again, your voters are going to feel what they feel in their lives, no matter what.
That's
I mean, what else can they do though? They have to do something. They know the numbers are coming out Thursday. They know it's going to be terrible. They can't. The only thing they can do is change definitions. They're doing the same thing with a lot of stuff. Like you can no longer, now the word groomer is a bad word. For some reason, they attached it to the LGBTQ. They did that. We didn't attach it to them. We just talk about people grooming children, and they went and changed the definition of what that means and blocked it from you can't even tweet about it now, which is just ridiculous on the face of it. A lot of these words, they change what it means to be male and female now. You can look at the dictionary definition that they just recently changed. I think it was Merriam-Webster that changed the definition of what it means to be a female and male now. And this is what they do. They go and they change and redefine words, because if they know that if they don't change these terms, it's going to turn around and bite them in the end. So that's why they go and change what stuff means. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out democrepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.